Well, good afternoon, me handsomes. Here we are, middle of Cornwall, beginning of June. Just over 2 years ago I done my first video. In the first lockdown we was a bit bored, so we dragged all the stuff out and done a little video of what we got. This is the Davis collection. Mostly mine, a couple of Dad's, a couple of my daughters. Beautiful day, Cornish Alps in the background. The aeroplane here flying in here somewhere, you hear it in the background, taking pictures. Do a quick little walk around. Bit of stock rotation since the last video. Quite a few gone on to new homes and bought quite a few more. They're all, again, as I did last time, they're all pretty much in age order. This is the oldest one we got. 1944 Oliver Row Crop 60. Still pretty much as I purchased it, other than the fact I got it running. It was on display at Helicon Gardens. I bought it a couple of years ago, well nearly 3 years ago now. Quite an unusual tractor in the UK. I'm going to run him for a year or two as he is, and then I probably will have him in the workshop and give him a freshen up and new coat of paint and that. But I want to see what leaks and that develop and what problems I get. But he's running quite nice, drives well. Next up, 1948 David Brown Cropmaster. Bought this one from my youngest daughter Senan, so she can ride around next to her mum. Again, this was in the last video. I haven't done a lot to it since the last video, to be honest, other than I changed the back tyres. And got a matching set of rear wheels on it now. He had odd wheels. Got a good block on it. Starts and runs, drives well. Got to do the brakes at some point. The brakes ain't the best. Oh, and we've got quite an oil leak coming out the back of the gearbox there still, or the PTO gearbox. Beside that is Dad's 1948 Cropmaster. They're 4 days apart. This is probably the tractor that got me hooked on tractors in the first place. Dad bought this one back in 1994 when I was still a kid. He used to drive it when he was a kid. He bought them back, done them all up, engine been done, etc. New tyres and all painted up. Next up, it's my oldest daughter Rihanna's 1949 Ferguson TEA 20 with the Fergie saw bench on the back. We'd use this one for cutting up for firewood. Quite nice original condition really, it could do have been oiled up now. Personally I think he's too original to paint up now. And this one wasn't it the first video I done a couple of years ago. This was the very first tractor I bought. 1953 Ferguson TED 20 petrol TVO. Lovely little tractor. This one will never go anywhere. Bought it when I was 13. It was £100. I only had 80 quid in my piggy bank. And a friend of Dad's who used to help out harvest time, he bought them for me, and I had to work off the last 20 quid. Chipping off concrete off second-hand 4-inch blocks so they can use them to build another barn. 2 days of work to get that 20 quid. But then, that was a good investment really, compared to what they're worth now. This one, 1955 Alice Chalmers D270. I was lucky to get this one back. We had this one when I was about 15. And me and Dad, we bought it between us and we done it up. Come from a farm at Colin near Newquay, off Jeff Hawke. We done it up, we rallied in for a few years. We used to keep all our stuff at Crantock back then. And we lost our storage. So we kept my Fergie and kept Dad's David Brown. But this one went on to a new home and we sold it to a chap come down from Hereford with a horse box he picked it up, and he had mid-mounted toolbars and all with it as well. They wasn't fitted at the time. Never seen the tractor since, and that was round about year 2000-ish. Anyway, the Imbert May sale, I think it was October 2019, was it, or 2020? I can't remember when it was now. Time's gone by so quick. Anyway, the big Imbert May sale up near Exeter. I was looking through the listings, and I thought, cool, I had one like that. And I looked at it, and I recognised the registration plate. And it was my old one. So I went up, well, it was passing one day, so I swung in on the viewing day to have a look, make sure it was definitely that tractor. There's a few little things on it that we done that ain't original, but we knew it was ours. So I went up the following day with a lorry and bought them back. So it's nice to have it back in the collection again after nearly 20 years. Here's my original Nuffield Universal 4. This is the first Nuffield I've bought really. I had a hydraulic loader on it in the last video, but that's been took off now and sold. Nice old tractor really. Done the engine up on a few years ago, and you can do a bit of love again now. I sprayed it up in 2003, so nearly 20 years have passed and got a bit of rust coming through and a bit of wear and things and that need sorting out. But he's a tractor you can go to any time of the year and just flick the lever and away he'll go. Quite quick on the road. Brakes need doing now after the last road run. And you've seen this from here before. This is my 1959 Nuffield. I call it a Universal 6. It's a Universal 4. Then I put the 5.7 BMC engine in it. And then a few years later, I changed the 5-speed gearbox for a 10-speed gearbox. You can see the high and low lever in here. But you can also see you still got the drum brakes. That's made the gearing quite high geared now. High range basically now is overdrive. Low range is the same gearing more or less as a normal 5-speed tractor. Doesn't come out the shed very much anymore, but need to take it out a bit more really. This one, I'm not quite sure on the year of this one. I'm guessing he's probably about 66, 67. It's either 4011. I bought this one, I actually bought it for parts. Bought this one, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, up in Devon. Bought it for parts because he had a reasonably good bonnet, because I wanted it for the one beside of it. But when I got them back, I think this one's a better tractor. It's got new mud guards, the brakes are actually working and good. I got all the foot plates to go on it. I've got to make new battery boxes. But starts, runs and drives well. Used it to top the fields here. Hydraulics wasn't working, so I had to have the valves and oil part in the top cover. Got that working. So it'll be a fairly easy project, that one now. So what I'll do now, I shall probably sell this one. So this is a similar sort of year as either 4011. Again, starts and runs well. Got a couple of new cylinder heads on it. A few bits and pieces on there that's new. You got new mud guards, although they are starting to get surface rusty. They need to get painted quick really. Again, I've got to make up some battery boxes, but I've got the foot plates and that for it. This one, the brakes don't work. I've got to go through and do the brakes on them. But it's no big deal on the Oz eater really, it's fairly straightforward. Worst bit is getting the shoes freed off. This one, the bonnet is quite scruffy compared to the other one, but he would go again. A good body man would sort that one out. So yeah, this one here will be up for sale probably in a few weeks' time. Once I'll get the battery boxes and that done on it, and then I'll get it up for sale. This one is Dad's. It's either 3011. He's painted up in the newer type colour scheme. This was in the last video. Again, you use this one for topping and working the log splitter and whatever else. Good little tractor really. Doesn't really go anywhere. They got all new tyres and engine been done that on them. Dad's little logging frame he made up for cutting up firewood. Seem to have gone Zetor mad since lockdown started. So all my Zetors have been bought during lockdown. or during the COVID years, shall we say. Including this one here. I bought this one in Ed Buckland sale. That was last year. I lost track of time. Another Zetor 3011. This one belonged to Morley Raisin originally, I think, out near St Callum. Nice Cornish tractor. We've been supplied by Vincent Tractors, new. Bonnet's quite good, apart from that dent. I've got to try and pull that dent out. But it's quite a solid tractor, really. Engine all's good. A few little leaks to sort out. Brakes are working. Not brilliantly, but they are working. The worst part about it is the mud guards have been doctored up over the years. I've got to tidy them up a little bit better, really. But you'll make a nice road run tractor. Not too big. The old Zetors now are getting quite hard to find. It's quite funny now, whenever anything come up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, every man and his dog is tagging me in it, and so I normally end up buying them. This one here is probably the shiniest tractor here, and it's not mine. My oldest daughter Rihanna. 1970 Massey 135. This was left to her by her late grandfather, Terry Julian. He bought the tractor restored. Probably been in the container best part of 10 years. And last year it was given to Rihanna. So we went out and picked it up, brought it back, got a fresh battery on it, changed the oils and filters and so on. Give him a bit of a clean up, painted up the front wheels. But he's a lovely little tractor. He's a standard 6-speed tractor. I've got to repair the mudguard there. Somebody's creased at the mudguard when I lifted something up. But swing and drawbar, got roll bar, everything on it. All the lights, everything's working. She's nearly 16. Well, I'll be 16 next year. So nice tractor for her for road runs once you do her tractor test. Definitely the shiniest. Definitely the most valuable at the fleet, I would say. Next up, my 1973 Zetor 6718. Now I bought this one 2 years ago, I do know that one. I was after one of these with a passenger seat so the kids could ride up in the cab and me and just use it for running firewood home. Didn't seem a bad tractor when I bought them. Soon turned into a bit of a money pit. Engine's been done up now, new pistons, liners, rings, etc. All new steering joints. The steering ram was seized up, I had to free that one up. The cab, I've had all new lips put in for the rubber seals, all new rubbers. The mud guards, I fabricated new tops and new toolboxes for the back and the extensions on the back. Got new tyres and I put on it. Done all the brakes. Rewired it, all new lights, everything. Good working tractor. Not the quickest, 15 mile an hour flat out, but it's reliable, comfortable. And the last one in the lineup here, 1981 Zetor 6911. Now this tractor I've owned before. Years ago I used to work for Vincent Tractors at Fradden. It was a then Zetor dealership before Buscombe's took over. And this was a trade-in, and I bought it quite rough. I gave 500 quid for it. Well then, I'd done it all up. I fabricated all the mud guards and that for it. Then I sold it. It must be about 15 years ago now, I guess, 15, 16 years ago. To raise money for a deposit for the first house we bought. Didn't see it again. Thought it's bound to have been exported by now. Then it appeared on Hedgerow Tractors page on Facebook. A dealer up in the Scard had it. So I went up and bought it back. And I've since fitted the quickie loader on it. Just so we've got something to lift things around. To replace the old hydraulic loader I had on the Nuffield there a few years ago. Done the steering on this one, new joints. Again, had to free up the steering ram. Done the brakes. What else we done to it? New rubbers, new lips around the windows, so on. Hydraulics wasn't working. Well, the spool valve was, but the link arms wasn't. That was only a stuck valve again in the top cover. Got a few more jobs doing it yet. I haven't painted the wheels yet because I'm going to get either some new tyres or hopefully some good second-hand tyres to go on here. 16934s on the back. Well, normally they're on 28s, but I managed to get them on there and they fit in there alright. So if anyone got a decent matching set of 16934s for reasonable money, ping me a message. Quite keen on the old 6911. I remember when I was a kid, it's the first tractor I can remember driving by myself when I was about 11, maybe 12 years of age. Again, 6911 with a quickie loader, driving around the field loading bales. So, nice to have that one back as well. So there we have it. The second goonamarris biannual rally. Some funny old times, isn't it? COVID seems to have gone quiet now. Queen's Jubilee weekend this weekend. Cheers and gone.